Hey everyone, I'm going to introduce you to Andre Johnson. He's a coach, long time real estate investor. He's doing coaching all over the US right now, but I'll let him explain what he does and where he came from and everything. So Andre, kind of introduce yourself, kind of tell your journey and how you came to do what you're doing right now.
Well, Raju, thanks for having me. So, real estate investor now for over 20 years. Got started in a very circuitous path. I mean, I'm not a real estate investor. Family was very meager means, and out of college, very fortunate to meet a friend who was living in a duplex. And so, anyone that's familiar with a two-unit apartment, two-unit duplex, he was house hacking
Mhm.
before the term became house hacking, right? And so he always, as a good friend does, would rib me and have one up on me. We both lived in new townhouses. His had two units, mine had one. So he was the motivation to help me to get the juices flowing to become a real estate investor. Long story short, I watched Sean go from that duplex where he was renting the top floor apartment, having his tenant paying his rent and mortgage. So he was living rent and mortgage free. I watched him go from that one building to having 15 to 20 properties he either fixed and flipped, bought and sold, wholesaled, or held as a rental in about a 2 year period of time. All the while, I was, running into dead ends, spinning wheels, making excuses as to why I couldn't make it work for me. And so that was, kind of a smack in the face to say, hey, there has to be a better, easier way than trying to do all this, on your own. And so, he took my hand. I, took his mentorship, got under his wing, and he helped me to buy those first six rental properties up in the Wilmington area. And ever since then, Raju, I've tried to do the same for other investors. I've tried to be, that mentor, that strategic partner that investors could rely on, to help them to get their business started or to double or triple their portfolio, after a short time of working with me.
Awesome. So now you started the new strategy, basically you're teaching this. A lot of stuff to it. So instead of me telling what that is. So one, obviously what you're teaching and who you would you like to connect and who can you help? I guess those three areas, if you can cover that.
Yeah, so I've kind of carved out my niche and expertise in finding motivated sellers, any and everywhere in the country, and then figuring out how to creatively structure deals, whether it be residential or multifamily deals. I've done pretty much every type of deal, under the sun, and so we, as I guess the typical investor coming to us looking for help, looking for guidance, they typically have done anywhere from 0 to 10 deals. So they're looking to get some traction. They're looking for some proven resources. They're looking for strategic partners. They're looking for expert real estate strategies to help them to get unstuck and to get started, or for those that have already acquired a few properties, done a few deals, to help them to accelerate their business and take it to the next level. So we work with investors nationwide. We take them through what I call a 4 pillar process. Those 4 pillars include helping them to stop lone wolfing it. Because so many people out there, Raju, are in Google University, YouTube University. They're trying to self-train themselves, teach themselves. It's so difficult, in an industry like real estate, so many moving parts. So we get them to stop lone wolfing it. Then we help them to build a personalized real estate family legacy plan. So instead of just chasing the shiny object, running over here, running over there, investors need to understand you need to treat real estate like a business. So you need to have, a legacy plan, and then start with that legacy plan in mind, your end game, and then roll it back to current day. Like, what do you want to, accomplish in the next 12 months, the next 24 months, the next 5 years? So we help them to create a family legacy plan, and then, a quick start 60-day action plan. And then, pillar 3 is we help them to put together a direct to seller marketing plan. So you don't rely on real estate agents, brokers, wholesalers, and referrals to bring you deals. That's when you find yourself like I was when I first got started, like, oh my gosh, I can't find any deals. It's so hard. There's so much competition out there. Well, it's always going to be competition out there. It's real estate. So you have to put proven direct to seller marketing funnels in place. And so we help investors to do that with the 8-step process, starting with targeting motivated sellers. And then lastly, once someone achieves some semblance of success, acquires the first property, does the first deal, we really help them with a business and portfolio accelerator, which helps them to start raising money and put together magnetic, game plans to bring people to them that are interested in partnering with them in some capacity, whether it's credit partnering, money partnering, allowing people to tap into their IRAs, 401ks, self-directed IRAs. And so we show investors how to go through that four-step process, to get their business started or to take it to the next level.
Awesome. So yeah, there's a lot in there. So actually, I've seen Andre's meetups organized where he teaches about the deal making and a lot of stuff like he explained. So I'll be posting whatever links I have for Andre. So reach out to him through that, or obviously if you're LinkedIn, reach out through LinkedIn and see if that coaching will help you, especially if you're a real estate investor, new real estate investor, and maybe just started even like 1 or 2 deals, like he said. Especially in this market, what he teaches probably will help you. All right, cool, awesome, Andre. So last 2 questions.
Okay.
Obviously, I think I know what the answer, but what inspires you to do what you do every day, or what inspires you to get up and do what you do every day?
Well, it's an interesting question. I think we all have to ask ourselves from time to time. When I first got started, Raju, that the answer to that question were really my 2 young girls, because growing up, I really didn't have the intimate time with my dad and had that intimacy, a connection, knowing that my dad was around. And so I always wanted, when I had kids, I wanted them to know, hey, I want my kids to know that I'm here, I'm present, that they have someone they could talk to, that's present and accounted for. And so initially it was just as simple, Raju, as controlling my own time. I know that may sound not like what most investors think, but I really do think you have to make it more than about making money, because you can make money so many different ways under the sun. And for those people that are always chasing a buck, chasing a faster way to turn $1 into $1.15, those people get lost. So if you stay grounded in your purpose, and my purpose starting out was just to control my own time. So it wasn't about being a billionaire or gazillionaire. It was about knowing that I could work from home. I could have a business that provided cash flow, residual income, so that I could be around. I could take my kids on the school trips, the field trips. I could chaperone. I could do all these things, show up at the school. I could coach, soccer and basketball. I could do all these things. So that was my why back then. But now my girls are grown. So I have 2 adult children. And so now my why is completely different. Now I just love not only my time freedom, but also being able to uplift and help newer investors to achieve their goals and their dreams, and see them to realize, the benefits that real estate provides. So really it's shifted from, having my own time freedom to be with my kids, to now being able to uplift and help newer real estate investors, to really get their solid foundation of their businesses started, and to help them to grow their businesses.
Awesome. All right. So you had a long experience in real estate. Obviously, with all these experiences, you've learned a lot of lessons. You have a lot of great tips. But what's the one tip you can share? It could be your personal life, or obviously real estate, whatever it is, that you can share with others that has helped you immensely, that will help others too.
Well, I would say if it's one thing that you have to seek out, and this is not to be self-serving at all, but I really do believe no matter what you do, you have to seek out the counsel and expertise of someone that is a couple steps ahead of you in your whatever game that you are seeking. So, take the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, right? He had not only his coaches on the court, but he had, trainers, off the court. You take anyone that's read any books in personal development, business development, you have to seek out someone that has the experience in the area in which you're striving to be successful, and do whatever you can to be around them as much as possible, so that you can avoid the pitfalls, the commonly made mistakes, and then you can shorten your learning curve towards success. So I still, to this day, Raju, I have mentors. I told you my story starting out with Sean. I have mentors to this day. I'm part of masterminds. So no matter how successful you are, or what beginning paths and steps you're taking, you must seek out the counsel and the strategic guidance of a mentor. And I'm not just talking about some random coach who just wants to sell you this and that, but someone that seriously cares about investing their time and understanding what your goals are to help you to be successful.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely agree with that. That's a great tip. Yeah, always seek out people who know better than you, and to learn from them and avoid the pitfalls. Awesome. All right, Andre, thanks for taking the time. And I'll be posting, like I said, all the links for Andre. either, if you're seeing it on LinkedIn, it'll be on LinkedIn, but if you're seeing it on YouTube, I'll be tagging all his whatever links I have for him. So reach out to him and see if he's a fit for you, and he might be a mentor. So thanks, Andre.
All right, Raju. Thank you. We'll talk.